We didn't want to be the N+1 actor to build a thematic index with our analysis, our subjectivity. Our approach is really to systematize how the thematic is seen by the marketplace, and the 50 stocks inside the index are the most traded by the fund providers and by the ETF providers. That's really what makes us different.
Welcome to this new episode of Solactive Product Talk. My name is Baptiste Caen and I am part of the institutional sales team here at Solactive. Today we're going to talk about thematics, and I am very happy to receive Roni Michaly, CEO of Galilee Asset Management. Roni, welcome to Frankfurt. How are you doing this morning?
Doing great. Thank you for having me here, and happy to share some insights about what we do with you.
So before we dive into methodology, thematics, maybe tell us more about yourself and your role at Galilee Asset Management.
Yes, so I'm chairman of Galilee Asset Management, which is a French-based asset management company. And we are specialized in thematic investing. And we are delivering actionable investment solution for private and institutional clients, especially on the thematic side.
So when you describe Galilee thematic approach, what is the core idea behind it? What makes it different?
So it's a rules-based, collective intelligence approach. So we try to capture how markets broadly perceive the theme. And we're leveraging on our research, so Galilee Trends, to build a representative index on the thematic. And the way we do it is we didn't want discretionary approach from Galilee. We wanted to keep it systematic. So we are going to analyze in each fund and each ETF of the marketplace. And that's a model that took us 4 years to build. So in each fund and each ETF, the most traded stocks, the stocks that are the most used by the asset managers and the ETF providers. And then we'll gather it to build our index. So it's really the thematic, how it is seen by the marketplace. So we have in the index the 50 most traded stocks, and therefore we have afterwards a market capitalization filter in order to make it a real index. But to have a comprehensive analysis of the thematic, we're going to have the 50 stocks that are the most traded, the most used by all our competitors, actually. And that makes our approach very different from the others.
Understood. And then if I understand correctly, it helps to remove subjectivity from this thematic.
Exactly. The problem with thematic investing is that it is very subjective. The thematics are seen by asset managers, by index providers, by ETF providers in a different way. Their research teams are making it with some bias, you know. When you select stocks, then you have the research team of this asset manager, for example, can have another view of the thematic than the other asset manager. And the fact that we are going into every fund, every ETF, going to see systematically which stocks are the most traded, then we remove the subjectivity. At most, the most that we can remove the subjectivity of the thematic investment.
So you have the thematics that describe how it is seen by the marketplace. You talk about rule-based indices. Luckily, you came to us to develop some indices. What made you pick Solactive as an index provider?
So we did a benchmark of the different index providers, and of course, we all the time we were looking at the price-quality ratio, you know. And with Solactive, we thought that we had a good price-quality ratio insofar as the fees were interesting, but also there is a lot of different services that you provide that sometimes are not free or not provided at all on the other providers. So that's why we choose with a very serious benchmarking, I have to say, the Solactive indices.
Well, that's perfect, and we are very lucky to that you picked us. let's go back to the thematic now, and let's try to be a bit more tangible about the methodology. We launched 4 methodology, 4 indices so far, and hope many more to come. Let's talk about space exploration, for example. Can you please make it a bit more tangible?
Yes. So we have 25 thematics, as you know, Baptiste, in our model. And each of the 25 thematic has its index. And therefore, if we speak about space exploration, we are looking at the stocks that are the most traded by funds and ETFs on this thematic, space exploration. In this thematic, I think we have 12 funds, and we are looking at the stocks that are the most traded, and then we look at we are counting the matches, and we are seeing whether the stocks are very important or less important. If the stock, for example, if one stock is in 12 indices, then it will have a greater weight in the index. And if a stock is present only in 2 funds, then it will have a less important weighting in the index. So that's the first thing. And then we have a market cap filter in order to make it a real index.
Perfect. Back to the investor point of view, what is the investor benefit of this approach compared to more traditional thematic approach? So
the problem with thematic investing is that it is subjective. Every firm, for example, asset manager or index provider, they have their own research, and they are doing it subjectively because the selection of the stocks is provided by analysts or asset managers that are going to have this selection process. For us, it's very different because we are taking the research from the others insofar as we are seeing and we are analyzing the stocks that are the most traded in every fund and every ETF, and then we are gathering it in an index. So it's really the index as it is seen by the market actors on the financial place here in Europe.
Understood. So basically, it's about removing the subjectivity for the investor.
Yes.
And how do you see these indices staying relevant as the themes evolves over time?
The themes are really sustained by megatrends. So megatrends are sustaining thematics. That's very important. If we don't have a megatrend, then we cannot have investment thematics. So we're looking at the megatrends. For example, elderly people. And this megatrend is making the silver economy thematic, for example. So we are looking at the megatrends, and the megatrends, of course, they change in the time, but it's a very long term trends, so it doesn't change so much. And the thematics, which are sustained by the megatrends, they don't change so much themselves, but inside the stocks, of course, the stocks change because the stocks that are traded by the asset managers and the ETF providers, they change. Sometimes there is a stock that is appearing in the thematic because the business of the company spread to this thematic. And then we have to include these stocks in the thematic. So we have a quarterly rebalancing, and this ensures to have, of course, over the time, a good comprehension of the thematic and a good representativity of the thematic.
And a good relevance.
Exactly.
Understood.
Yeah.
So going forward, how do you see these indices being used in products on the market? So
we made it to be really underlyings for structured products, for example, or trackers. We already launch in partnership with different banks structured products. and trackers. For example, the tracker on space exploration is tracking our space exploration index. And we have also launched, for example, structured products with different yields and coupons on the water cycle index. So it's really it's really indices that enables us to do analysis at first and then to build financial products on them. And it's really a very good indices to be underlyings for structured products and trackers.
Roni, merci. Thanks for your time.
Thank you for having me here.
It was a pleasure for us to summarize our discussion. It's a Galilee approach. It's about looking at mega trends, the thematic out of those mega trends, and then how do you use a rule-based approach to remove subjectivity for end investor. Thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for listening, and see you next time on Solactive Product Talks.